What's good, family? It's your boy Just Blaze, host of the best NBA pod in the game, Above the Rim. Keep it locked each week and join myself and a special guest as we tackle the latest rumblings in the league. If it's happening in the NBA, you know I got you covered. Make sure you subscribe on all platforms and leave that 5-star review. Let's get it.
Buffest diver ever.
Real quick, if you could be good looking or rich, which one would it be?
Shoot, when you rich, you already good looking. What you talking about? Shoot, you have one eye over here and a pocket full of money. They'd be like, boy, you so beautiful. Everybody's eyes are straight, but yours over here, I love it the way it's like
That
that.
looks so good. Okay, I can put up with it.
Talk about it.
You are now tuned in to Above the Rim.
Welcome, family, to another edition of Above the Rim, episode 107, brought to you, as always, by your honorable host, Justin, a.k.a. Just Blaze. Two special guests in the building tonight. First one, he's no introduction, friend of the show, Mellow Reem. The boy is here. What's good, brother?
3 to the head, man. I'm back.
3 to the head, Mellow Reem is here. And family, I brought some new blood into the Above the Rim circle right here. It's my guy, my dude Trevor's right here joining us as well. What's good, my brother?
What's up, Trust? How you doing, man?
Chilling, man. Everything good, man. The family is here. We've been out for a couple of weeks, another week or so. About to get ramped up. The NBA season is ramping up soon. Some good basketball coming through. And as always, family, you can listen to Above the Rim anywhere you listen to podcasts, whether that be iTunes, Stitcher, Google, Spotify, YouTube. Subscribe to that page as well, lineums.com. To get in contact with me, you can hit me up. Follow me on Twitter at JustBlaze_513. That's JUSBLAZE_513. On IG is JustBlaze513. Facebook, search Above the Rim Podcast. Email the show as well. Above the Rim NBA Podcast at gmail.com. Call or talk about it line as well. You already know, 908-718-1592. If you got any feedback, Reem, where can the family find you, brother?
I want all the smoke on Twitter as usual. Let's talk sports. Come and get me, man. Let's talk, man.
So disrespectful.
Get disrespectful with him, too.
Please. I welcome it.
It really does. Trav, where you at? Where can the people find you, brother?
Find me on IG, big_T_22.
Yes, sir. Make sure you find that, man. So let's get into some preseason takeaways I wanted to get into because the season is ramping up soon, fellas. About to get ready, about to get right to the NBA 2019-2020 season. And I'm ready. So I did have a voicemail, so let's start off with that from the boy BTG out there in Cali.
Just, it's your boy BTG. I mean, I haven't been in the New York penthouse in a while, brother. You know what I'm saying? What's going on with that? That's not what I'm here for. What I'm here for today is, is it not crunch time? Is it not end game? And I'm talking about strictly point guards from here on out. Dame, Russ, you know what I'm saying? The chef. And of course, CP3. What's the end game right now? Don't you feel like it's getting closer to the end? I'm talking about for everybody. You know, some of these cats are still fairly young, but the moves that has been made, Russ up in Houston, no KD, and then, they got D'Lo. Clay's going to be gone for a while, so the spotlight is back on the chef. CP3 in a new uniform by himself, literally by himself. And of course, Dame, he got a taste of the Western Conference Finals. Like, you can't go back from here. You cannot go back. What's the end game? Who's going to get that much closer to where they need to be? And what I'm saying is, who out of those guards, CP3, the chef, Dame, Russ, who do you feel like is going to get closer to that trophy? I don't know. It's too easy to say. It's too easy to say the chef. It is, because he's been there before, and he's won it. But everything is different now. Those rosters are different. So I need to know who you got and who needs it the most. Your boy BTG. Open run with BTG. BTG for president. And I'm out.
Shout out to Baylor, man, with his candid voicemails. I appreciate that. Family, drop those voicemails in as well, because I want to hear your feedback. I need all the smoke, all the shit talking. But so let's get back to that. First of all, Baylor, you're gonna be out here in the New York penthouse soon, brother. Also, out of Dame, out of Steph, out of Russ, out of CP3. Reem, I'm gonna start with you, and then I'm gonna chime in and give my little soliloquy here.
Synopsis.
Out of those 4 guards that Baylor mentioned out there, who will get closer, or who kind of is closer to a title from this point on, since everyone is now split up without their quote-unquote best co-star that's normally there? Out of those 4 guards, Russ, Steph, CP3, and Dame.
Lily Pad, baby. That's my man, Lily Pad. All
Okay.
right. I'm gonna start off with Dame. I think Dame had a little taste of it, but to be honest with you, he really didn't show up to me. A lot of that
The West Finals?
Yeah, he fell off
could've
as
played
far
better.
as performance when it really mattered. CJ helped them a lot, but I think that was like a stepping stone for them. Like, you know what I mean?
It was a growing stage.
It was a growing stage, but they lost a lot of defense this year. So,
Listen, we talked about it before in our chat. I'm not crazy about that Portland roster. It's okay. It's solid.
They got a lot more offense with Hazonia. They got
But wait, before you go any further, are you saying Dame is the closest one?
I think Dame is probably the closest one.
Okay. That's interesting. Okay.
CP3 got kind of
go through it.
He got casted out to Randall's Island like by himself. That was like so disrespectful.
So disrespectful. Oh, I'm gonna talk about that, but yes.
And I kind of like lump Russ and Harden together. Like, I'm not gonna say Russ and not say Harden, because Harden's played with a lot of talent, and so has Russ. So to just say Russ and not say Harden, I'm gonna pair them together.
Okay.
They probably have the most pressure, but I don't think that they'll get it done based on their analytics systems and things not working. So, like, they're at the bottom of the pile. And Chef Curry, he has no pressure on him because there's a lot of moving pieces that got removed, and he's basically like a one-man band. So how much can you really expect from him? And he's done it already. He's had an MVP. He's won chips. He could take this one in cruise control. He got paid already.
Okay. That's fair.
So I'm going to go with Dame.
Trev, I'm going to go with you. Out of those 4, who's closer or the closest on a road to a title from this point on?
So the guy who said that sent the voicemail, he was saying that Steph is the easiest choice, right?
He's the easy choice.
Right? And I kind of disagree with that, because here's the thing. When they won their first championship, right, and they went through that run, it was more of like a 3-headed monster.
Yeah.
Steph, Clay, Draymond, right? I say 4-headed monster because I always include the coach, right, from an all perspective of the game. So when they won that one and then they lost the next one when Braun had his full team, obviously they made the deal to go get KD or whatever like that. I think at this point right now, in his back of Steph's mind, he knew that he has to prove another chip by him running that team, right? And the reason why I say that is because you won one chip, and one of those years you were the league MVP. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, my timeline.
He was the league MVP, but Iguodala got the finals.
Right? He hasn't won a finals MVP, and last year was the only year he actually really showed up in the playoffs. Right? Out of the entire Golden State run, Steph is very small in the playoffs for whatever reason. I don't know if because it's too much pressure.
He's had nice moments, but he hasn't had a signature
standout moment.
And do you want to know one of the main reasons why he hasn't had a signature moment? So one of the things that I saw was they had like an interview with his family or whatever like that, and his mother and father said that you can see it in his game sometimes. Steph, when he's playing, sometimes he gets bored with the game and he starts doing things that's out of character, right? So when you see the behind the back passes, the shooting from 40, 50 feet out, he's trying to get himself into the game because he's bored with the game. He does that in playoff time, right? So I don't know if this year he's going to take it a lot more serious and lock in and try to make sure that he leads
a team to the championship, and it's not a situation where Iguodala takes the shine in the finals, KD takes the shine in the finals. So I think he has a lot to prove, and I think he's going to take on a challenge. Now, is it going to happen how the West is loaded right now? I don't know. I think it depends on if Klay comes back. I don't think he's going to be able to do it by himself.
Fair points. All fair points from both of you fellas. I agree with majority of it. I definitely feel like Steph has a lot to prove this year. I'm on the train with him, feeling that he has a lot to prove. I understand he did it before, but when you do it with an elite wing like Kevin Durant, it doesn't, I won't necessarily go as far as minimize it, but it does decrease the impact of the championship run. We know he's needed, but a case can be made that they still could have won without him. You never know how those things go. I don't like to play the if game, but we do need to see Steph and we know he's going to put up amazing numbers. We know he's probably going to be top 3 in the league in scoring. A lot of people are saying he might be the leading scorer. That's very fair. But right now, currently, as their roster is constructed, I don't have them as a championship contender right now, especially without Klay to start the season. I like D'Lo, but I don't love D'Lo in that lineup. I'm not really crazy about it. Draymond is Draymond, but if you're looking at Draymond as to be your second best player on the team, that's not a title contender to me. And then until Klay comes back, that team is still incomplete in my mind. So, and when he does come back, I don't think he's still going to have to take a few months to at least get back into his Klay form. So,
Clayness.
Yeah, so we haven't seen Steph really carry the offensive load for an entire season in 4 years, basically.
Yeah,
4 years.
It's a dub for Klay this year. I hope people know that. I don't know if people know how
A lot of
crazy
people saying he'll be back by
ACLs.
All-Star break, though.
He'll be back, but you need 2 years to fully heal from an ACL. Unless you're
Especially
Adrian
his
Peterson,
game his game is
doesn't happen.
predicated off screens and all of that, so he definitely needs it.
yeah.
And as Russ goes, I'm not really sold personally on their partnership between the two of the top 5 most ball dominant players in NBA history. So is he closer to a title? I don't really know, because I'm not really crazy about Russ's fit on that roster.
Let me piggyback on that. I didn't realize those two dudes turned the ball over the most in last 3-4 years.
The most. They have the most turnovers in the league.
How does that work?
Too.
How does that work in analytics for these guys? It's just crazy
But
to me.
you remember, because they take more risk, right? Having the ball in your hand and taking more risks and putting up more shots and basically orchestrating everything. You're going to have...
Trev, but also lazy passes.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Both of them are the king of lazy. Think about James Harden's lazy passes out of a pick and roll. Those lazy little rolls.
Forget the laziness. They don't move after they pass the ball. Both of them.
Not at
There's
all.
no movement.
Not at all.
So,
Neither one of them. We look.
I'm gonna watch them.
We looked at the preseason game that I sent you the stat line of Russell Westbrook. He shot 19 shots out of the preseason game. 11 of them were threes, and then shot 3 for 11 from 3. Russell Westbrook in that preseason game. It was.
Yeah, Russ is my guy, and I'm gonna go down this ship with him. But when you talk about it from a ball point of view, it's crazy how much shots he puts up, and then kind of how the way that he plays the game is it's not good for the team. And I don't know if it's going to change at this point.
Sound like Damo over there.
Damo,
Brody, your man.
Listen, that's my man, but I love ball first, so it is what it is.
That's going to be such an interesting pairing. And then also, they throw my man CP3 to the backwoods right now. He's in Woodland Hills right now. I don't know where he is right now.
Yo, listen.
Free my man.
Free him, but he might be in a decent position if you really think about it.
Put up numbers, yes.
Here's the thing, though. If he wanted to, and that's the question. If he wants to,
yeah,
he could turn that team around to be a very good underdog playoff team. If he wants to.
So too.
But
I agree.
I think the problem is it's 3 years too late. As in, his mindset is I want to be on a championship contender right now, so I can save that energy for those games.
Yeah.
If he's playing to get out.
Well, he's definitely playing.
No, I'm saying based on his production level.
Well, his production level has to increase in order for his trade value to
increase. If he gets to the point where I'm playing at a level where somebody's going to take this contract that I own into consideration, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Let me ask y'all one question, because I know it ties into the CP3 and Miami thing. If you were Pat Riley or Mickey Arison. Would you go for him, or would you try to pull off the Wizard deal with taking John Wall back contract and getting Bradley Beal?
I see a lot of that floating around. And if I'm Pat Riley, I would go after CP3 right now, me personally, because you're taking and not necessarily to say that any of them are a headache, but you're taking two very, not strong personalities, but two players that want to really command an offense in John Wall and Bradley Beal, and then you're adding them to the star that you already are building your team around, which is Jimmy Butler. So I know John Wall has to go through rehab, and he still has probably a whole nother year damn near to come back. But me personally, I feel like that's too much to take on just to get Bradley Beal, because what they really want is Bradley Beal.
Correct.
So I would go with the surefire route in CP3, and it still allows Jimmy Butler to be who he is and what he came here for, which is to be the man, and then he can have a Hall of Fame primary distributor.
Of course you would.
But I would go. I mean, to me, it's smarter, though.
No, I agree with you. Because
they got two guards over there.
The only reason I agree with you is because taking that deal with John Wall and Bradley falls off the books before John Wall. So you might actually get stuck with a decapitated John Wall.
No one knows what John Wall's going to look like.
Because he's predicated on speed. So now you don't know what that Achilles is going to look like after, and the jump shot doesn't look good.
All right, so let me ask you, do y'all think that John Wall can get back to being all-star John Wall?
Now,
no.
What I was going to say to you was because of the conversation around going to Pat Riley, because I know the history of what Pat Riley has done for players who have been injured, who has been kind of lacking that oomph to get over what they needed to do. I felt like that would have been a good fit for him, right? Because
John Wall?
Pat Riley would have been a good fit for John Wall. It would have got him you need to get on your, you know what I mean? Yeah, P's and Q's to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Right?
He does projects.
Not to cut you. He do be looking like a doughboy, too.
Yeah. Fat right now. I mean, look at the money he got.
I mean, Rose Ball. So, yeah, right?
That's why they sent, what's the name, home?
Moneybag?
Yeah, Moneybag. Yo, sent my boy home. Said, come back when you not fat. What's his name? James Johnson?
Yeah.
James Johnson, yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, man. So moving on, man. So we got some preseason action. Preseason has finally started. And we had to talk about my man, Zion Williamson.
That's what we talking about?
That's definitely what we talk about, because we all know on Above the Rim, family who listens to the show, we know Reem is a hater.
I'm not a hater.
He is a Zion hater.
Rodney Rogers. Go ahead, bro.
He got very disrespectful and called him Rodney Rogers, right? So we know Reem has a little hate in his blood when it comes to Zion, but he's going to prove him wrong. There's a lot of people who have a lot of hate in their blood, but he's had 4 preseason games now under his belt, averaging 23 and 6. 4 preseason games, 2 assists, shooting 71% from the field, 68% from the line, 27 minutes a night. Only missed 14 out of 49 field goal attempts. Granted, a lot of them are close to the rim. We know that. A lot of people are killing him for getting shots close to the rim. Reem is already shaking his head.
He hit a three-pointer.
He hit a three-pointer. I was getting ready to say that he hit a three-pointer, but I can't lie. I want to ask if we're impressed, but I can't lie. I was impressed with Zion because my expectations were a lot lower than everyone else's. I didn't expect him. I'm not expecting him to give me 25 and 12 out the gate. I'm expecting something like 15 and 8. Show me some promise. He showed me that he wasn't afraid to attack the rim. He ran the break a few times. He had some quality drives. I saw him looking active. I saw him hustling. I saw a little bit of handle, like a little spin move he had. I saw a little agility for a little doughboy. I saw a little agility, but I think the key to Zion right now is that their Pelicans are not putting pressure on him to be the savior of the franchise, and I think that's going to be well for him going forward. So, Reem, I'm going to ask you, were you impressed? What were your thoughts seeing Zion in this preseason? Impressed? How you feeling?
To be honest with you, Zion looks like a man amongst boys of the second unit.
Of the second.
No, I'm saying against second unit quality players.
Oh, okay.
He looks decent. I won't lie. He's athletic. He's a big dude. He looked like he shed maybe 5 pounds, 6 pounds, something like that.
He still needs to shed it.
Nah, he definitely got to get down. But my concern is that quality of shots that he's getting against first unit talent. You know what I'm saying? Because the dudes that's going to be guarding him is going to be going hard, and it's a bigger unit that's going to come at him. And he did measure at 6'6".
6'6". But he's going to be playing a 4. You don't think he can match up with NBA 4s right now?
Hell no.
All right, so that you say that? What about a guy like PJ Tucker? He's a 4. He can't match up with PJ? Think about it. PJ Tucker's what, 6'6", 6'5"?
But PJ Tucker might be much smarter than him at this point right now.
Oh, definitely smarter.
So as far as
match up, you say he can't match up.
I think he can match up because he can. His intelligence on the defensive end might outsmart some athleticism, putting a body on him, not letting him get in the air. Certain little
give me
techniques.
another 4 in the league. Who's another 4?
Markieff Morris shuts him down.
It's not happening.
No.
Shuts him down.
It's not happening. Markieff is not
shuts him down?
Shuts him down.
It's not happening.
We're going to see. Put it on the calendar.
Let me tell you what people are missing about Zion.
You're so disrespectful.
Just keeping it real.
It's really...
Yeah,
he's big enough. He's big enough to bump with him.
Let me tell you why he's not shutting him down. Because one...
No, I say Marquis. No, sorry, Marcus. That's the next...
Any other brothers.
Are you crazy?
Any other brothers.
Let me tell you why he's not shutting him down.
Let's go to the game together, guys.
When you have... Oh, yeah, we could definitely go to the bum-ass MSG.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We can go to the bum-ass garden, no problem.
Wow. Wow.
Anytime you have youth and kind of inexperience on your side, you can use it against you. And let me tell you why. When people say inexperience, it's like, well, what does that mean, right? He has no fear right now because he doesn't know. So he's willing to try, right? And then when you're willing to try with that athletic body and those and the skills that he does have, he's going to be doing similar things on a higher level than Blake Griffin did when he first came in the league. Because remember, when Blake first came in the league, everybody was like, well, what he's going to play? All he does is jump, da-da-da-da. And then before you know it, you're seeing poster on poster on poster on poster, right? In this situation, who was Blake's point guard when he first came to the Clippers? When he got drafted?
Bledsoe?
It was Bledsoe.
Bledsoe, right?
Yeah.
You have Drew Holiday and Lonzo Ball, who Lonzo Ball is going to put you in position to make sure that you're good at what you do.
Right. So Ingram too can pass.
And Ingram too, right?
Ingram ain't trying to pass nothing this year, but go ahead.
No, but he can pass. I hear you.
Numbers.
Right? So I'm not too worried about that. What I would piggyback off what y'all said was it's definitely the weight. He got to drop the weight. He got to come down. Whatever. I think he's too heavy right now. He's not going to sustain a long career.
He's like 320 right now.
Too heavy at 6'6".
Yeah, he's not going to sustain a good career with that weight. I think he is going to get down the weight, and maybe he hires a nutritionist or whatever he needs to do, whatever. I'm not surprised of what he's been doing in preseason because I don't question his love and the determination for the game. It showed in college, and obviously it showed in high school. I don't know if you guys saw that clip with the comedian talking about when watching Zion Williams against a bunch of high school white boys.
Oh wait, yeah. When the dude was dunking all over the
He said it's like this is like reverse racism. He's like, it's reverse racism. It's so funny. But I'm not surprised at what he's doing. Only thing I question is are you going to put in the work to lose the weight and keep harnessing your skills? And if he shows that, then it's...
I got a question. If he loses a substantial amount of weight,
what's substantial?
Say
20?
No Kevin Love joint. Don't do a Kevin Love joint.
Let's say 30 pounds. Because he's 280. He's 280 right now at 6'6".
So you trying to get down 250?
Let's say
30
250.
pounds I feel like is a lot, right? No?
This is what I'm saying. If he goes down too low, is it to his advantage or his disadvantage now? Because he's 6'6". And he's playing the PF.
You got to understand.
I'm saying? I'm just saying.
You got a point, though.
I'm just saying, because his advantage is being a big dude that can bump, but can jump at 43 inches or whatever it is.
And he can absorb some contact.
Yeah, but now if he's a lighter body frame.
But look at those shoulders.
The shoulders, everything will go. Look at what's son that played for the Knicks now, the lefty? Julius Randle. Mm-hmm. He lost a lot.
See, look, he can't match up with Julius Randle.
He is like the mirror of Julius Randle with a 43.
You said he can't match up with fours. I'm going over some fours right now.
Well, how tall is Julius? 6'7", 6'8"?
Julius like 6'9".
They like the
Julius
same
like
game.
6'9".
To me, it's the same. It's a mirror game. It's just Zion
Another
can jump
four.
out the.
Danilo Gallinari. He can't match up.
Danilo is slow.
You going
I'm not
down
even
the
worried
list
about
of
that.
bums first.
Yeah,
Like, you gotta
Danilo
get
is
to the elites, and then you get to the.
I mean, what?
Danilo
Hold on, but hold
Gallinari.
on. You said
Marcus
elite.
Aldridge.
Who's the elite 4?
That's
Aldridge
what I'm
is
trying to say.
Aldridge is the 5, though.
Yeah,
He plays a
hold
4
on.
though.
Who's the elite 4? Blake Griffin?
That's what I'm trying to say. What's a 4 that he can't match up with?
What 4s we got out here now?
I'm going.
What's-
Al Horford is
Al
technically
Horford?
a 4 now.
He not eating Al Horford.
Al Horford
Al
might give
Horford's
him
too slow on the
He's too
feet.
smart. He gave Embiid problems.
Al Horford, I could see him having some problems with.
He put a grown 30-something-year-old
That's
wrist
one-
forearm on him.
That's one dude. Who else?
Who else we got out there? I don't even know the 4s. That's
Yeah.
such a dirty position.
You gotta.
It is a dirty bit because it's a tweener position.
What
It's
about
really
Kat?
3 4s. He plays a 5.
Giannis kind of
Like a
plays like a power
Giannis plays
forward.
like the 5.
Let me tell you.
Or Middleton.
Let me tell you how you would have been right about the problem with Zion and who he matches up with. If he wasn't on that Pelicans team, if he was like how Markelle Fultz was on, what was that?
76ers.
No. Well,
Magic.
Magic now, right? He's on Magic. Who's really there right now, right? And I mean, if he's on a team by himself and the focal point was him, it's cool. Now that the focus point not even Zion, you talking about I got to worry about Drew Holiday, Lonzo Ball, and bringing Ingram before I get to Lonzo Ball.
On this podcast, we don't say Drew Holiday. We say Black Jesus, babe. Come on now.
Black Jesus, right? You know what I mean? You're gonna forget about Zion. Then what's gonna happen? You're gonna
No, you
end up-
can't never forget about somebody
That's
of
what
280
Of
and
what?
jump 43 inches in the
Yo,
air.
Honestly,
there was time during Golden State people forgot about Kevin Durant in a corner.
Well, that's because they ran a strict offense, though. The Pelicans don't really know their offense.
They don't
yet.
know what they got
I feel like
yet.
they're still learning. Their offense is going to be run and gun, defensive style. The only person I see ISO on that team is Brandon Ingram.
Yeah,
And Drew
Holiday.
Holiday get busy.
He get
But
busy.
talking about-
ISO though?
Yeah, no, he get busy in the ISO.
Yeah.
My question is, when the game slows down and Zion has to play in a half court setting,
Yeah, I'm worried about
what
that.
will we see?
What
If
role
he-
is he?
What will we see?
I don't-
The ball swings to him with 6 seconds left on the
We'll
clock.
see a
I
little
don't-
jab step and use
Yeah.
his speed to get to the rack. If
Yeah.
he can't
'Cause
get to
that
the rack, he'll
jumper
spin
is broken.
and
And I
pass
think
back.
people are sleeping on a little bit of handle he got.
He got a little. I
It's
said he ran the
decent,
break.
but if he gets it 15 feet away from the bucket, what can we expect?
First of all, there's a lot of bums that can't do anything.
Yeah, I
15
expect
feet away from the bat.
the same 3 moves.
But he's supposed to be the next.
What is?
the next?
Yes, I mean he got to
His
grow.
sneaker contract was crazy. You got to get something.
I see him getting 15 points off of putbacks, a
12
couple of
and 8.
easy buckets.
12
Nah,
and 8.
I think he's gonna average like 18 and 11.
12 and 8.
He's gonna average 18 and 11. Trust me.
12 and
18
8.
and 11.
18 and 11. You'll see.
12 and 8 bucket.
Let me tell you why. Right? Let me tell you why.
Yo, you can't. We gotta pin Reem's hate of Zion.
I mean,
We gotta-
12 and 8, man.
I mean, it's documented. So
You talking about RJ Barry yet? Oh no!
Okay,
All right, come on. All right.
wait. Let's move on to the other teammate of Zion right now because he's also in the spotlight when it comes to the New Orleans Pelicans. It's Lonzo Ball.
Ball control.
It's all about ball control right now. So how we feel about Zion coming into the season? Because there's a lot riding on him as well. They did trade away the franchise Anthony Davis, and he was the centerpiece of that package. Free from, technically, kind of, sort of free from LaVar Ball. LaVar basically just came out today, and I believe he said that Lonzo, LaMelo would never really sign to Nike because there were some rumblings about those two talking with Nike. Nike was trying to approach him a little bit. Obviously, we know the turmoil with Triple B's with Alan Foster, and they allegedly stole $1 million from him, from the brand. And then Alan Foster is countersuing LaVar Ball for, I think it was for exploiting his sons for financial gain or something like that for $2 million. And so really quick, before we get into this, let's hear the clip from LaVar today. I think it was today or yesterday, something like that, when he was speaking about Zoe and Melo's moving away from Triple B's.
Nike's scouting LaMelo.
Everybody's scouting LaMelo. Everybody's scouting LaMelo. It's okay, though.
How do you feel about him if he potentially signs with Nike?
If he potentially signs with Nike.
Yeah, I mean, Nike's pursuing
Stop
him.
it.
Well, Nike's in
Stop
Australia.
it. You can't even curl your lips to say, my son gonna sign with somebody.
Well, Nike's
You
pursuing
can't throw your list, big
So
baller
it's-
brand.
so it's
I
impossible.
said it's a
So-
family brand, didn't I?
You did.
Okay, then. That's all I got.
Lonzo has said he's thinking about
Lonzo
also.
can think all day. He ain't signed with nobody. Big baller brand. That's what I said.
So you guys are making a comeback in a big way.
Oh, yes, of course.
What do you think about
Import.
LaMelo? Is he the number one pick? Now ESPN,
Stop.
everybody's saying he's the number one pick.
Why everybody saying it now? I already told him that. I already said he's number one pick.
I've heard you say before he's
I'm
the
gonna tell you
best
something
ball
else.
son.
I got 3 lotto picks.
Okay.
They all got that type of talent.
So Lavar is basically saying there's no way Melo and Zoe is moving away from Triple B's, that is still going to make a comeback. And it looks like Lonzo is actually on the opposite side of the fence sometimes. Looks like he's kind of trying to detach himself a little bit from getting under Lavar's shadow. So Trev, I'm going to start with you. So what were your thoughts with this whole Lonzo, LaVar, Triple B's fiasco that they've been in the news lately for not so much basketball reasons? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, I really like Lonzo, right? And then the reason why is because I think he's a decent player and he goes back to throwback point guard, right? So I like his game a lot. I know a lot of people give him flack for the jump shot and stuff like that, but it's being fixed. But for all the off the court stuff, I think the father is actually dropping the ball in this situation because Lonzo had said something. I follow the family and I watched the show, and he said something that interested me in the article, that is he's going to actually take a year off, right? And just kind of like focus on basketball, not worry about signing a shoe deal, not worry about doing any kind of big
Lonzo,
Lonzo.
Oh.
Not and no type of big endorsements, because he said to himself that he understands that he failed as a number 2 pick. And when I heard that, I was like, okay, that's the maturity that I was waiting for. When you take ownership for saying, you know what, I was the number 2 pick, I know what that stands for, and I didn't live up to that. I need to set the clock back, show people that I belong in this league, and then everything that comes with that, then I'll do it, right? Show that I belong here, and then go get the money, then go get the endorsements and stuff like that, which is the way the old school guys used to be. I come, show, I prove, then I get money. It's not like how it was when Braun came on. He's an exception, right? But, you know, even like Zion for recently signed a $95 million contract and then hasn't played ball yet, right? So I like that maturity about him. I think the father is dropping the ball with the situation. I think what's going to end up happening is, so when Lonzo signed with CAA, he's potentially about to be managed by I think Leo Rose or
Leon Rose.
Leon Rose,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So once that's gonna happen, what's gonna happen is they're probably gonna see what's gonna happen within a year with Triple B. If they do find a way to turn it around and bring in the right technology, especially when it comes into the sneakers, I think he might give the father and the brand another look. But they are seriously going to sign with another major deal because he can't go through those injuries again. If he does, it's gonna, and I mean, and those shoes are tied to his injury, no matter if they want to come out and say it or not.
Yeah, he was on a podcast talking about a shoe. Did you hear that? Did you hear that, Reem? That
No,
he had
I
to,
didn't hear it, but I heard
he was on a show that he had to change his shoe at halftime. He had to bring multiple pairs every quarter. I think
four pairs.
4 pairs of sneakers he went through every game.
That's terrible.
Because of how they were either ripping apart or they were kind of falling apart a little bit. And yeah, go ahead.
Now, mind you, I'm actually for Triple B's in this stance. Not because
I want them to prosper.
I want them to prosper because of this, right? I don't want it to be a situation where another black family tried to do something. It didn't work because they didn't have the right people around them, and then somebody else comes, do the same exact blueprint, and then win. Yeah. And the reason why I feel like everybody should champion them in a sense, you know what I mean? If you want to spend your money and support them or whatever, is because if this works and he actually has 2 out of the 3 or even all 3 boys actually end up being in the league and he actually pushes a brand that works, that would actually set up their family and other outlets later on in life for a better future, right? Like Lonzo owns 51% of that brand. People don't know that. So if I end up being a very good basketball player, being an all-star, and then I end up having my own shoe that I own necessarily, and it's not tied to Nike or Adidas or one of those, right? That profit is worth a lot more than me saying, let me just sign a $20 million deal or even the deal that Kuzma did with Puma or something like that. and then take that money, and then everybody makes money off my likeness, right?
So I'm gonna ask y'all, Reed. I'm gonna throw this off to you. Do you think it's if you were Lonzo, let's say, if you were Lonzo right now, so we know everything that's going on with Triple B's, you know that Nike is coming after you or is on the horizon, that they are looking into signing you and your brother. Maybe y'all they want to have a pitch meeting. They'll say that they'll put y'all in commercials or whatever, keeping the family brand that you already have, but spinning it into a Nike family brand kind of thing, right? Throwing the bag at you. If you were Lonzo, what would you do? Would you give Nike strong consideration and upset your father, and maybe that may be the beginning of you severing ties with them? Or would you stay loyal and stay with the Triple B's and see how it can get back?
All right. I like the idea of the Triple B thing. It sounds good. But we've seen players sign sneaker deals for the money, but the performance go off, and it caused them basically the career a la Grant Hill. Fila wasn't ready for performance basketball sneakers, and he kind of tied his ankle injuries into Fila, right? So now me as Ball, as a brand, my main focus is being the athlete. That's first. That comes first. My performance and how I play, what I play in matters. So now if I take Big Baller brand, me as a designer of my own brand, if I could get a deal where we could tie in the Big Baller brand to maybe apparel underneath Nike, like how kind of like Mamba.
Maybe they could be the parent company of Big Baller brand.
Where they had like the Mamba brand that went along with it, or
subsidiary brand.
LeBron had the Lion, and that kind of came like a brand underneath Nike.
I like that.
Maybe.
I like that.
But the performance of your son and his feet and what he does on the court should always come first. So if you're putting out a product and you're selling it for whatever, I forgot the amount it is, but whatever.
$50 or whatever it was. $300
The price
slides.
point, the price point isn't there for the masses to purchase, such as your kids and the followers, those that want to be like Ball. Not forget the father who wants to be like the actual basketball player. That price point isn't feasible for parents. Isn't feasible for.
Well, bottom line, they got to put out a better quality product.
Yeah.
It's all about the quality. Bottom line, the quality wasn't up to par.
Price point, and performance. Those all tie into what they need moving forward. But I think that the main goal should be getting a sneaker he feels comfortable playing in, he feels secure playing in, and then the Baller brand being a subsidiary underneath maybe a brand.
I like that.
Now, that's something that I thought about, and I think that if that does happen, what I would say is they're gonna have to hire the right lawyers for that deal to go down, because I don't think you do a deal with that unless it's straight up 50-50 or 80-20 family Nike. The reason why hold on. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why I said that, right? It's the same reason why, and this is a spinoff from basketball, it's the same reason why Kevin Hart has shut down Sony when they told him to do a press run and they wanted his social media. He said to them, I built that. I went out and connected with those fans. I had those 40-something million, 50-something, 60 million. I connect with them. If you want that, you have to buy into that. And the one thing we can't take away from that family is they built that fan base that they have by themselves.
Oh, yes.
Yes. No, I get that part.
But the thing about it is, right, those kids and those parents are going to go buy whatever you tell them. So if you say I'm partnering with Nike, they're going to rush to that line. And the thing about it is, Nike is not going to have to spend the marketing dollars that they need to spend on an athlete that does not have the notoriety that they have. And that's the thing people don't understand when it comes to marketing, right?
But they will have to front production because they can't produce the quantity of what's needed.
The front-end production is something that's it's part of the game that they're in.
But they can take care of that easily, though.
Easily.
The production they can take care of. But honestly, it all predicates on his success on the court.
Exactly, his performance. And it ain't there yet.
And that's why I said I respect the fact that he said, I'm going to take a year off to focus on basketball.
I like that.
Because here's the thing.
That's smart.
The Pelicans get into the playoffs. Lonzo's averaging like 15 and 12. And y'all looking good at him and Black Jesus.
11 and 9.
15 and 12, that's a stretch.
And him and
12. Well, I go.
The reason why I say
I go
11-9.
Hold on.
I go 13, 7, and 7.
12 and a half.
7 and 7.
Listen, here's the reason why I say that, right? Is because you got to understand he has a couple people that can get him easy buckets as it comes to assists.
Yes,
right?
but the point about him is the aggressiveness.
He still got to throw the ball in the ocean.
Listen, honestly, look at his preseason numbers, right? He played 25 minutes. He averaged 9, 4, and 6, but shooting 32% from the floor.
I think that's gonna go up. It's gonna go up. I'm not worried about that.
I hope so because
the jumper looks better.
The jumper looks a lot better. I like he's actually shooting it with some more confidence.
Did he go to Chris Brickley?
No, he did not.
You know I don't believe it if it's not in the Brickley gym.
Come on, man.
I don't believe a workout if it's not in the Brickley gym. So Ben Simmons, I still don't believe it. With his 1 3-pointer. Oh my God, I know y'all saw that.
Hallelujah, praise the Lord.
Listen, y'all. People laughing about that. If he start hitting jump shots,
no, if he start hitting, it's a problem. But he hit one though that he was forced to shoot. Let's not act like he shot that in the middle of possession, like that was a strategic move. But
it was wet though. It was wet.
It was wet. It was. Shout out to Ben. So moving on, we got to talk about the tri-state area right here. We got to talk about these Knicks and these Nets really quick, fellas, because they've been in the news too. So we all know Brooklyn's on fire right now. Flatbush is on fire. KD, Kyrie, DeAndre, and the fellas joining I was about to say the New Jersey Nets. Look at me. Ooh, the Brooklyn Nets. Wow.
Don't worry about it. Kyrie wore a New Jersey hat when he signed his contract.
Disrespectful. It was.
He's from Jersey.
Yeah, he's from Jersey. Yeah. So basically right now going on, starting the beef early a little bit. KD basically said he didn't really consider the Knicks before signing with the Nets this summer. He went on Hot 97 and he was talking about why the Knicks can't land any stars in free agency right now. And his quote was, "I think a lot of fans look at the Knicks as a brand and they look at these younger players who in their lifetime don't remember the Knicks being good. I didn't grow up with the Knicks, so the cool thing right now is not the Knicks. The cool thing right now are teams like the Warriors and teams like the Nets." Then, my man Marcus Morris comes out of nowhere and tweets out, "Never was a fan of doing what was cool. I love being a Knick, feeling right at home." So spiciness already in a borough. I like it. So I'm going to say this is a pretty interesting thing here because I kind of agree and disagree at the same time with KD. For me, how I look at it is the Knicks, I feel like people are being a little bit too hard on the Knicks right now because we know obviously they didn't accomplish plan A, which was basically
locking in a star,
locking in a marquee talent. We know that was the goal. And to me, I feel like it only takes one star for the Knicks to be quote unquote cool or whatever the case may be or whatever it is. I think stars not coming here to the Knicks has more so to do with the basketball product on the floor or lack thereof, more so than the extracurricular activities, the James Dolans and things like that. We know James Dolan is a factor and he's a little bit of a hindrance to stars coming here and signing with the Knicks. But I just think the New York Knicks product on the floor is not good enough to attract a marquee NBA free agent. People love to compare them to the Nets right now, but look at the Nets. What did he do? They suffered for a few years, and then last year, they finally made the playoffs. Even though they were a low seed, had young talent, they showed promise by making the playoffs. The Knicks bottoming out every single year and looking thirsty is their problem. The problem with the Knicks to me is the thirst. All year, they put their cards on the table. Everybody knew that they were going after Zion, they were going after Kyrie, they were going after KD. But all their cards on the table, and then they got burned at the end because they weren't being strategic, because they weren't being smart. And the Knicks' problem is that they don't strategically think of how to do things. So keep this young talent right now, make some small, shrewd trades throughout the season, small little trades. Try to work your way into the playoffs at 8 seeds, 7 seeds. Show that you got some fight. I already like the Knicks trifecta of, I feel like they're the only team with the trifecta of black execs. You got David Fizdale as the coach, you got Scott Perry as the GM, and then you got Steve Mills as the president. So that's already a nice stepping stone going forward for marquee free agents. And I just think that they need to go about things the right way. And as far as the cool thing, KD has a point. I guess that I get what he's trying to say, that a lot of these young kids are not seeing. I never saw the Knicks being good as a franchise, so they're not really, their heart is not invested in the Knicks. But I still feel like a star would go to the Knicks if the right opportunity presents itself. So, Trev, I'm gonna start with you. What were your thoughts on KD's comments right now? And the Knicks are not cool anymore, and the Nets are.
All right, so I'm new to this show, and I want to be very, very clear on this. Very clear. I don't care about anybody's feelings.
That's what
I do not fuck with the New York Knicks.
Talk about it.
I live in New York. I grew up in New York. I don't give a fuck. I don't fuck with them. I love basketball, and they disrespect the product all the time. I don't care what era you're talking about. I think when you talk about organizations, it starts from the top down, right? And I don't care what nobody said. You can't own a team or own anything and your passion is not there. If your passion is not there and you don't care, you're just about making money, hire the people and get out the way, right? I'll give you a very small story. The last time the Knicks did the smartest thing was when they hired Donnie Walsh back in the days. I think it was Donnie Walsh, if I'm not mistaken. He cleared the salary cap, got rid of all the bad contracts, got everything together, and then they went out and got my boy, Melo, which I did not like the move because you end up selling the entire team, the mothers, the cheerleaders, everything, just to get one player that was going to come anyway. But that's another story.
It's a big package.
That's another story, right?
Thank you for moving on.
Yeah, so you don't agree with that either. So this, but
it's a big package.
Here's the thing: what KD is talking about, right, is the branding of MSG, right? And let me explain that to you, people who don't understand how basketball and marketing works. People say that MSG, the Knicks basketball, is the mecca of basketball. It's not, right? What MSG has done, what the Knicks has done, right, is brilliant marketing, where they took the essence of MSG, Madison Square Garden, everything that's happened there in that arena, and tied it to their own brand. There's multiple things that happen there. There's big time concerts. There's fights with Ali. All these different things happen that made MSG the place to be. Made it a ticket you have to buy when you come to New York. When you think about the Knicks, they haven't contributed to that legacy of the MSG. Now, maybe back in the 60s and 70s, whatever it was, right? It contributed, but in the modern era, and I'm talking about in the modern era, talking about from the late 80s to now.
You can't say that.
Hold on.
That's a little disrespectful.
What has the Knicks done, right, that would make you say, okay, you know what? They did exactly what is equivalent to Jay-Z selling out a Madison Square Garden.
No, but they've had shortcomings where think of the UN era.
They did go to the finals. They were in contention. They were in playoff contention at that time. They had a good, what was a good 4 years?
The 54 team, Melo, they had potential. It was a good.
They had a good 2
sell.
years.
You had a reason to go to the Garden that year.
When Melo was there, you had a reason to go to the Garden. 2 of those years. The Indiana Pacers.
That 1 year.
Listen, I'm not knocking the individual talent or entertainment that Melo or any of these individual stars that come to New York and perform. Cool. I go buy a ticket. Somebody puts up 60. They put up numbers. Fine. I'm talking about the essence of basketball and putting a product out that is going to make sure that we win. That hasn't been done.
That's what I'm saying. You've had teams that just ran short. Like the 54 team with Melo. It was a tip dunk that missed from Melo from going to the next level, or the Patrick Ewing injury that led to him
his missed layup too.
Yeah, like they had moments, but it's just a stretch of time between those moments, which you might be alluding to. It's been moments. Because let me finish. Because during that time frame, you had teams that were allotted as lock-ins. As the champions already. Miami was already allotted that championship team, but you had a good team in the Knicks going against teams like that.
So you're trying to tell me that you think that team that was orchestrated around Melo was a strong team?
No,
that team was decent. That team was very decent.
You could put together.
Are you
the
asking
Nets?
if they're a championship contender?
Yeah, is it?
Well, no, they weren't.
No, they weren't. But that team was one of the better teams that they had.
Because the bar is set so low.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. It's like this.
I understand what you're trying to say.
If I start from 0 and then I go up 5%, I gross this amount. Okay, cool, I'm good to go. But it's like, what's your expectations here? If you talk about somebody like Stephen A. Smith, who's the person who loves the Knicks, right? If you ask him that team that Melo was on, that was coached by Woodson, right? If that's what we're talking about, right? That team that was coached by Woodson.
Mike Woodson, yeah.
If you talk about if that team was the best team built around Melo, you got to be kidding me. They didn't build a team around. They never
even gave him a starting caliber point guard other than Chauncey.
I really like that team because it was a little ensemble of players. Because hold on, let me finish. They gave you a star, pivoted around veteran players, with sprinkled in with a few younger players, with the J.R. Smith, with the Shumpert, with Steve Novak, who was a specialist.
Yeah, it was special.
So it was everybody knew their role on that team. The problem was after that season, you had the older players retire and they broke it up, and then they fired the coach.
You know why you like that team so much?
Why?
You want to know why? Because you were starving for something. Because they put out bad fucking product.
Yeah.
That's why you like that team. Because they finally gave you a breath of air.
No, what I'm saying is if you have something that works, you build from that point. They stripped it and then they took away everything from you.
But let me let me swing it this way. So I get we're talking about the past, but right now I do feel like the Knicks are on a better track than they had.
Yeah, I believe so too.
I'll give them that.
Many years prior, they've been on the right track. If they don't mess this up, because I do feel like they have some young talent on this roster finally, and I do think they are looking in the right direction or the right pieces. Right now, I feel like they did mess up a little bit this summer because they did sign a gluttonous of power forward, so they didn't do their positional signing well.
I don't agree with that.
You don't think it's too many power forwards?
They signed nothing long term.
Yeah,
besides
contract's not bad.
Yes,
Randolph.
I'm talking about the players that they did sign. They signed Portis, Morris, Gibson, and Julius Randle. That's four power forwards.
They signed, but they signed.
That was a little overzealous or a little over the top for 4.
They signed heady players. Pause.
Yeah, yeah, but they didn't. But I'm saying they could have used maybe 2 of those signings could have been left on the table.
All right, I agree
to
with
maybe
that.
not necessarily develop someone else, but maybe you use them as a trade chip, or maybe the case maybe or whatever.
I feel that, for example, right? I mean, even though I don't fuck with the Knicks like that, I do like some of the picks they picked. Like last year when they picked up, is it Robert Mitchell?
Mitchell
Robinson, right?
He should be the starting center. Right?
Let me tell you something.
He can't stay out of trouble.
Look,
he can't stay out of foul trouble.
Foul trouble. I'm like, what did he do?
I'm about to say, yeah, what did he do? He's a good pickup because of where he came from and the talent he can become, right?
Oh, his skill set.
He was supposed to be a lottery pick, right? And it didn't happen because he had some family issues, so he still took a year out. He didn't go to college, and then they kept their eye on him, right? And then the other person they picked up, which is going to be a big fan favorite in the Garden, is Iggy. Iggy's a really solid player. He came out of Michigan. Trust me on that. He's good. I forget his first name, but he's from Canada.
His first name.
Yeah.
Iggy.
Yeah. White boy. He's good. Trust me.
Nah.
But they do have some other young pieces. Remember, first of all, they have too many point guards right now. Having Ntilikina,
the French Kriller, get him out of here.
He got to go number 1. You got DSJ. We'll see how he pans out. Then you got Alfred Payton. You got RJ there, who I'm very interested. I think he's gonna have a pretty solid year. I actually kind of like his game.
Green light.
Yeah, I like his game right now.
As long as he doesn't have the same year like the guy from last year, he should be fine.
Kevin Knox?
Kerry, as long as you
I'm not really sold on Knox.
But he's a bum.
See, I knew he was going to say, I don't think he's a bum. I'm just not sold yet.
Bum.
He's got to show me a little bit.
Still can't dribble.
Yeah, he's got to show me a little bit
more. He's a bum.
He's going to be starting this year, I believe.
Oh, God, no, he won't.
Let me,
I don't know. He might.
Hopefully,
Morris might take that one.
Hopefully, a couple of y'all Knicks players are listening, and I want to say something, be very, very clear with y'all. Stay out of them clubs in New York. Get your ass in the gym. Y'all want to be better. Y'all want to put New York on the map. Stay out of them clubs. I went to a couple clubs last year. I saw Knox. I saw a bunch. Stay out of them clubs. I know y'all want to have fun, but if y'all really want to lock in, look and see exactly what Kobe did for his career, bro. Knock all that shit off, lock in, and try to get your ass better, because a lot of y'all game's not up to par. Y'all think it's just 6'9" and can put the ball in the hoop. But y'all skill sets is trash.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep it a
Trevor's
buck
not
with
playing.
niggas.
I hear you on that, but they got to get better as a whole. So hopefully the Knicks can either try to make.
I got a little faith in them.
I actually I have a little bit of hope in them. I think at least contend for a spot. I'll be happy if they contend for it. I'm gonna be watching them. So
Yeah, I'll
we'll
be in
see.
the garden watching other teams.
But let's move on to a storyline that we are closely monitoring to start the season. And I'm gonna start off here. So my one storyline that I'm closely monitoring to start the season, just something that I'm paying attention to, is how long are they holding my boy hostage
I knew it.
in OKC?
I knew it.
It's a coming home party for him.
Before the episode, Ryu tried to say, I know you're going CP3. I try to deny it. I can't help it. Why are they holding my boy hostage? Free my man CP3. I'm annoyed right now. I don't need him wasting precious time, precious mileage over there in OKC, trying to work hard to get his baskets because he doesn't have a bona fide number one option. So the defenses might be predicated towards him, which I hope they won't be, but I think they're going to run actually a nice solid offense over there in OKC. But I don't need him wasting precious time over there. Hopefully nothing happens injury-wise, health-wise. He needs to stay on the floor for the entire time till he gets traded. And what I'm thinking is Miami needs to step up to the plate. Milwaukee needs to step up to the plate because I heard there's some rumblings there also as well with a Bledsoe deal. And also, which something that's on the horizon, which I feel like is a strong possibility of happening, and I would be upset, and I don't want it, is if the Lakers try to trade for Chris Paul after December 15th, because they do have the contracts to put together a package up to absorb that contract, because all of the players that they signed are now eligible to be traded after December 15th. And we know if there's one thing that LeBron can pull off in the front office, is pulling off trying to acquire another star. And if you look at that roster, he does fit. He does fit a need on that roster. But that's something that I don't want to happen because I don't want him on the Lakers. But the more this lingers, the more it's a possibility of him going over there. So that's the storyline I'm watching to start the season. Y'all heard, Trev, you look like you had something to say on that.
I got a question for your storyline. Yeah. So, like, if you had to choose, where would you actually want CP3 to go so he can actually win a chip?
That's a tough question. Because if I'm saying where I want the best place for him to win a chip.
You said no wasted time. Right.
No wasted time, yeah. The best place for him to win a chip is in LA for the Lakers. The best place for him to win a chip. The place I would like him to be, I would have to say Miami.
You know what's crazy? And I don't know if they'll do this, but you know what team will make more sense for him to actually be on?
What's that?
He should go back to the Clippers. And let me tell you why. If you look at it right now, Pat Beverly is the starting point guard, who's strictly a defensive point guard, who's probably going to give you 9 points per game. Maybe you might get lucky, you won game 15. If you gave CP3 that team now, which didn't have a Blake Griffin, you have a Kawhi and a Paul George, what would that be like, right? Does him and Doc relationship, is it that bad that he can't bring him back to now give him a team that will be basically ran by the swings on that team?
I mean, that team is like perfectly set up for
CP3.
For dimes.
It is.
Because it's
like perfect. That's what they're missing, honestly.
CP dimes.
Like literally, that's what that team is missing.
I don't know if something is docking them and looking at is like, do we bring him back and give him a second run?
Salaries to match the contract though, because
you have to give her like a Lou Will, and
you'll probably have to give up Lou Will.
That ain't a good look.
Probably gotta give
bench
up
Maul, bro.
They're probably gonna ask for Black Beast, maybe.
Yeah, they don't want to get rid of Montrez.
Nah, I wouldn't do that because
it would be hard for them, and they don't have any picks to throw in anymore. They already gave all of them away to OKC.
That's all. Kawhi got to settle for that.
That would be crazy to make another deal with OKC. That would be wild. Crazy. That would be wild. I mean, I think I like him in Miami. I feel like that's the best move for him right now because I still think he can produce. A lot of people say he can't produce, but his numbers were skewed last year because he played with such ISO heavy ball dominant player in James Harden, and even in a down year, he was still third in the league in assists and third in the league in steals, even at his advanced age. So he can still put up some numbers with the right minutes.
I think he can. I mean, look what Jason Kidd did with Dallas when he was older.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think he can.
I think he can. I think Miami be the right spot for him. Sprinkle in a little mellow over there, seeing whatever they have to give up. For Chris Paul, you still got Fareed out there. They still got some couple of pieces they could sign. Shumpert is available. Luke Bamute is available. So there's some pieces they can bring in. You know that's the Prince. But so that's the storyline I'm personally watching. How long are they gonna hold my boy hostage? So Reed, I'm gonna go with you. What's the storyline that you're closely monitoring to start the season?
You know where I'm going with this one. I'm really monitoring. It's kind of a loaded question for me.
Yeah,
because you know, I've been talking about this Melo thing, right? And being in preseason coming around and it's coming to an end pretty soon, the Nets are in a situation where they're about to lose Wilson Chandler. And they're eligible to sign a player after the 5th game.
That he misses?
That Wilson Chandler's out.
Why they gonna lose him?
The drugs suspension. PEDs. He's going for 25 games.
Oh, okay.
So because of that, they're eligible after the 5th game to sign a player. And the Lance Thomas, I don't even think he got off the bench yet. I've seen a lot of
at the game I was at, I
DMPs, and you know what I'm saying, like, and the production isn't there. Being Kyrie does have a facial fracture. There's not really a spark coming off that bench for them at all. That's one scenario. 2, Melo to the Lakers. I could see something there because a lot of their players are hurt so far. You got Dudley. I don't know why they signed this dude. He's hurt. Troy Daniels is hurt.
Dudley's been talking spicy.
Kuz is hurt.
Yeah.
AD might have some kind of thumb issue that it doesn't seem as that bad.
Yeah.
Might be inflammation, whatever the case is. But I don't think they're in a position to lose any type of production and with staying winning. Off the strength of, who do you call about? KCP's playing like trash already. And
typical.
Yeah, and they signed Dwight, and Dwight is giving you nothing so far.
Well, you know, we talked about it before. Their guard rotation is sus. Yeah, that entire Lakers roster
alone. But remember, I tweeted this. I said you remove Kuz out that situation, is looking very shaky, baby.
Yes.
And LeBron is in his 17th year.
But the thing about it is, in your scenario, if they have all those problems, from an organization standpoint, why would I go sign Melo if I have to address all these other problems?
Not really address, because none of those are big contracts and none of those are guarantees. You sign Stockton Jr. or whatever the hell his name is, he can go. You got Dudley. What production can you really expect from a Dudley?
So you think it's a Cleveland 2.0 again, where it's like
you attacking Dudley?
You think they're gonna do what they did in Cleveland a year?
So we're so top heavy.
Yeah, and they just switch everybody in the middle of the season.
It can happen because
it can happen.
They need production. The only reason I'm calling the Melo to LA, I really don't want him to go to LA, because if they really wanted him, they could have got him.
Yes.
My thing is, from production wise, to be in the East, there's a lot of gunners out in the West. There's a lot of gunners in the West. For one slip of production with one player to be out, for them is very bad. With LeBron in his 17th season. So you can't call upon Rondo for 15, 18 a game. Kuz, if he's in or out the lineup, we don't even know what he's going to give on a consistent basis with all of those big stars next to them. Troy Daniels, what do you know of that? Bradley.
Yo, but realistically, Reem, how many minutes do you think Melo can actually get on the
18 and 22. 18 and 22, that's it.
Yeah, but being what, the backup 4?
Backup 4.
But then that's Kuz's role. So you're sliding Kuz to the backup 3.
He could go to the 3. Who you gonna put over the 3 over him?
Yeah, well, I think Kuz's position is a 3 anyway. He should be playing that.
He should be, but playing next to somebody like a JaVale McGee, he might be better suited as playing a stretch 4.
No, the only reason I say
he can't guard anybody.
The only reason I say on a stretch 4, because one, on the defensive end, he's a little bit slighted, and he's not really that good defensively.
He's not good at all.
And 2, he's a big 3. So his advantage of going to the bucket against a 3 is bigger, and as a bigger player at the 3 position than the 4, body wise. So I say that. But my overall view, I'm trying to really see where this CP3 thing goes. in Miami because I could see Melo, CP3, and a Butler because Melo's in good shape. Pat Riley's not playing that shape this year. You already seen.
Not playing.
They sent James Johnson home and said, "Think about it."
Been like that.
They sent him home.
They check their body fat every single week, weigh them every week, and Melo looks like he's in incredible shape. And having a system like that where he's forced to stay in shape the entire season might be productive for him.
And I think he will. I think actually Miami would be the perfect spot for Melo because especially if CP goes there because he did change his diet too with that plant-based diet that CP3 is doing. So CP3 looks really in shape. He slimmed down a lot from last year. Being with Fat Harden over there, because you get out of shape playing with James Harden.
But in the corner.
Yeah, so I really like the fit over there in Miami. You know, Jimmy Butler's a workhorse too, so I see that happening. But I mean, it would all depend on that trade. So I feel like just Pat Riley just got to pull a trigger. But Trev, what's any storyline that you watching to start the season?
Yeah, I'm looking at the KD storyline. I've already heard that people saying that he's ahead of schedule and it might be looking at a situation that he might be able to come back early. I would say even if he has an itch to do it, I think he still shuts it down. And the reason why is this: you have to understand what could actually happen with him and Kyrie in New York City. It could end up turning to be something historic, right? Because you look at from the time they left New Jersey and when Parker Ross, whatever the Russian name, the owner was, right? He ended up spending a lot of money trying to put together his own super team with, Pierce and Garnett and ISO Joe. And that didn't work.
No Jason Terry?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Jason Terry. And then he ends up selling the team, and now it's owned by, I think, a Chinese Asian dude, right? He got a lot of money. That Asian dude got a lot of money.
He bought the arena and the team.
Yeah, he got a lot of money. He from Alibaba, so he got a lot of money. His money from Alibaba company. So anyway, I'm looking at that. I think he shuts it down. I think you give yourself a full year, even if you're ahead of schedule. Really, heal up, come back next season with Kyrie, and then y'all really figure out exactly what y'all want to do for that entire run on that contract you guys have. I don't think you because if you come back now, I still think I don't think you guys beat the 76ers or Milwaukee.
Well, I feel like he has to see how good they are without him first. Like, if they are our top 4 seed, I think he should consider it starting like February, like All-Star break. He should think about it if he's ready or semi-ready or 90. Like, if he's at 100%, I feel like just shut it down. Don't even consider it at all for the entire season. But if you're feeling really good by like All-Star breaks, that's like mid-February, March, you see how it's looking still. Maybe you try to make a debut April, maybe, but even still, that's not enough time to go to playoff basketball.
The only thing I'm scared about is this, right? Because people forget
that would be too
in
much.
OKC he had the Yao Ming injury, right, with the foot. Remember, KD he's practically 7 foot, right?
He is.
So with that, he ends up overcoming that Yao Ming injury with the foot or whatever like that. Cool. He ends up playing, and then he does stuff for OKC, goes to Golden State. Now he has the Achilles injury. I think you got to be really careful with this. You got to look and say, okay, I have X amount of years. I want to play 17 like LeBron and the rest of them. I want to probably get up there like with Dirk with like 20 or whatever.
He doesn't want to though. He said he's not. He said he gets a certain age, he could call it quits.
Yeah. I mean, you can, but you gotta see how it works out. Because if him and Kyrie, you come back and him and Kyrie go on a 2 or 3 year run and they win 2 or 3. Then,
Kyrie also said that he wanted to retire a little bit earlier, though.
He did say that.
He didn't say he wanted to play to 39, 40 like some of these cats. Both of them are like
but
yeah, but those are interesting dudes, right?
Yeah,
both
they're interesting dudes. But Kyrie has been in the league since he was 18 years old, so I get it, right? But I would say you just chill and do what you say. Look and see how the team is working out, and then even if you feel like it come, you got to really look at what's going to happen in the playoffs. Like, you think you're going to be able to come back in there and either beat a Milwaukee or Philadelphia when they've been playing Giannis been going all season ready. Embiid and Simmons been going all season ready. You just gonna come in. I mean, you KD. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, he's a dog. Though.
Yeah, he's a dog. But it's just I'm just
He's
worried
definitely gonna
about that
fight it out.
injury.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that coming back, because if it comes back again, you can forget about it. It's over.
Yeah.
All right, one thing. I'm joining in with the whole KD thing. My biggest concern with KD coming back and early and all of this is his level-mindedness with this media. New York media is a different beast.
Mm-hmm.
And they've struggled in smaller markets. And the New York Post and Kyrie and KD, like, they got to figure that aspect out. Because Kyrie had a bad time in Boston. And if anything goes left early, it might not be pretty for him alone. So KD could help him but so much from the sideline speaking to the media.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they still going to get on his ass. When are you going to come back?
Yeah.
If he felt forced by Golden State to come back, New York media had to be on that ass.
I think they'll be a little bit nicer to him, though, honestly.
Listen, I say
they're a little bit more appreciative.
if he alludes that he might be ready, they'll ask him every day.
Well, he's got to shut it down, which they have been kind of.
And
They've
I
been
would,
shutting it down.
me personally, I think he
saying-
should shut it down.
Yeah.
Don't even come into the season thinking, are you going to see me?
Yo, if I was his team, I know that they're not gonna do this because I know, like, if I was his team, I would have told ownership and everybody else, I'm like, listen, we signed this contract. I'm gonna be on the West Coast recovering the entire time. I'm not even coming on the East Coast.
Nah, I would like him around the team, though. He's got to learn.
He got to see that. He got to feel the environment.
He's got to invoke his leadership. If he wants to be the leader, you got to set that.
Because now when he comes back, now if I'm a year in of dogging without you, when you get back, you still got to swing in that rock, dog.
Yeah, you got to. Yeah, you definitely got to swing.
You got to swing the rock. I know you KD. You a year out, but I've been dogging.
Yep.
I'm your partner
and then
now.
it'll be the
Who
same.
you talking about? You talking about Kyrie or talking about other people?
Karis LeVert,
Anybody,
whoever.
Whoever starts balling.
Yeah, you say that now, and then when he steps on the court in practice and you get your ass bust, then it's a different story.
We got to see that again. Know what I'm saying? I'm here in the field.
Now, yeah.
You talking on the sidelines right now, but we don't know what you're gonna look like coming back.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, I got a year in, and I've been dogging. I got another year under my belt. When you come here, you don't have to do it by yourself.
Yeah,
so that was a whole different dynamic.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. I just don't want him to be in New York the entire time. I think he just needs to go back and forth. He got enough money to hop on them jets.
Yeah.
Well, you got to get out the cold, though.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how KD pans out and how the Brooklyn Nets start going forward and how they produce, especially early on in the season. So let's get to that crossover segment, fellas.
Not a game. We talking about practice.
Crossover segment, family. I'll be throwing out player comparisons from different eras. Melo, Reem, Trev, act as GM, and y'all tell me who y'all would take out of the two. If y'all were building a team in their primes. First up, you building a team. Both of these fellas in their primes. You got a prime Kemba Walker or a prime Stephon Marbury on the table. Who you taking? Let me give you the career stats. Kemba, 19 points per game, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 41% from the floor, 3-time All-Star. Stephon Marbury, 19 points per game also, 3 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal, 43% from the floor, 2-time All-Star for Stephon Marbury. Reem, I'm going to start with you. Got both of these boys on the table. Kemba, Steph.
Man, that's a tri-state battle right there.
Who you got, brother? GM Reem.
Man. Me personally, I'm going to go with Steph.
Tell me why.
He was a bigger guard. He theoretically
bigger,
inside. He was a little bigger.
6'3".
He's a little bit more athletic. And I think his kill switch was kind of crazy. Like, I really like Steph. I think he's really an underrated legend in the game. His numbers is amazing.
Mm-hmm. Remember when I showed you that graphic?
For a longevity period too.
I gave you 20 and 10 for 20
Yeah, I like Steph. And then we seen him by himself really dog people. And then walk away from the game. I like Steph.
Okay. Building a squad. You got Marbury? Who you got, Trey?
I got Blackpool.
I got Marbury. Yeah.
Easily?
It's not even. I like Kemba. You know what I mean? But that's easy for me, Marbury.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Well,
same thing that Reem said, bigger guard. You know what I mean? He does his thing. And his pick and roll game is crazy.
We got a trifecta here, fellas, because I'm going Marbury hit as well. But I didn't think, to me, it wasn't a landslide because I do give Kemba a lot of credit because Kemba's one of my favorite guards in the league right now. He is smaller, like you guys said, but I do think he's a little bit better offensively than Stephon Marbury because I think he's a little bit more shiftier. He's definitely quicker. Crossover wise, both pretty much the same. Marbury had a nice little dribble switch up or a nice little jab also. He had a nice little step back three.
That push crossover was crazy.
It was crazy. It was shifty. It was quick.
He was one of the floater gods.
But I'm giving it to Kemba over him.
Okay.
In terms of shifty crossover and ability to turn that crossover into a drive. Step back is
Kemba's
crazy.
step back is
just pure offensive ability. I mean, you could go either way. It's technically a wash between the two, technically. But I'm going with Marbury only for the fact that he was a better facilitator than Kemba Walker. And I feel like he could lead a team offensively. He can lead some better offensive sets a little bit better than Kemba Walker. And also this year, I feel like we're gonna learn a lot about Kemba Walker this year because I have to see him make the leap. I have to see him take a leap forward in terms of his maturation of being a point guard and being a facilitator this year. Because, like you said, he's gonna be playing with talent now. Yeah. So now I need to see how you run an offense rather than you being the offense. I need to see how you put Tatum in his spots, how you put Marcus Smart in his spots, and Jaylen Brown in his spots, and that's your leap forward.
But he still has to make sure that the lights is bright towards the end of the game, like we've seen.
That's his time. But you know what's crazy? Tatum also wants that also, because we've seen him wave off Kyrie a few times. I don't know if y'all remember when Kyrie was there in the Garden. I think he did that. He waved it. I think he missed it though, right? Did he miss it? He waved off Kyrie. I remember, and he shot it.
And Kyrie was pissed.
He was pissed off after that. I remember that.
I think Kemba is gonna be he actually got a little cheat code this summer because they technically the entire starting they played in USA.
They lost.
It don't matter. Chemistry is chemistry, bro. And if I can get a head start on everybody else, that works.
I think that will bode well for them though. That Team USA training that they had. I think it will. Next up, a couple of defenders coming your way. Both of these fellas in their primes. You taking a prime Jimmy Butler or a prime Meta World Peace Ron Artest right now. Let me give you the career stats. Meta World Peace Ron Artest. Career stats: Jimmy Butler, 16 points per game, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 45% from the floor. Jimmy's a 4-time All-Star, 1-time Most Improved, 4-time All-Defensive Second Team. I'm gonna call him Ron Artest. I ain't calling him no World Peace. 13 points per game, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 41% from the floor. 1-time champ, 1-time All-Star, 1-time Defensive Player of the Year, 2-time Defensive First Team, and 2-time Defensive Second Team. Trev, I'm gonna start with you.
So the question is, am I picking him for defense? Or
no, you have both of these two on the table. You're a GM. You have both of them in their primes. You got prime Jimmy Butler, which is basically right now. Prime Ron Artest. That could be Lakers. That could be Indiana Pacers to you.
Damn, that's hard because these two.
Who you got on the table right now? No matter how your squad is lined up, you got both of those boys available. Who you picking? You need a couple more seconds?
I'm going to have to say, and this is going to kill me because I fuck with him so heavy too. I'm going to have to say Jimmy. And here's the reason why is because Jimmy and another player, Paul George, they have found a way to transition from when they came into the league of being defensive players to being nice all-around two guards, right? And that's credit on the work that they put in, right? So, and the bad thing is just that with Ron, he capped out on offensively what he could have been, right? I think Ron was a solid defensive player. Nobody's gonna question his heart and what he did, but I think sometimes the attitude and the friction and him getting to being a Meta World Peace just came a little bit too late. Where I feel is going to disrupt most of the team. You've seen it throughout the years, right? Jimmy, we haven't seen disruption on the court while you're playing. It's always behind the scenes in practice or off the court situation, right? But it's never during those games. Even when you look at what happened in Philly, it's been times he wanted to choke out Brett Brown, I believe, because of what was going on, but he kept it, together.
He did get into a Brett Brown pretty quick.
Yeah, but he kept it together while they played. And obviously you see what Joel B came out saying that he wished that Jimmy was still there because, he knew what we lost. So I'm going to go with Jimmy slightly just because I know what I can get offensively.
Okay. Reem, who you got, brother?
Man, I'm going with Panda Friend. My man Ron Artest. That's his third name, if y'all didn't know.
Panda Friend.
The only reason I'm going to say Ron, because I think Ron knew his position at one point. Like this is what I was doing. I was going to lock you down. This was going to be my specialty. Because he did put up numbers when he was at the Bulls. When he was trying to make a name for
on
himself.
On the Pacers.
In Indiana, too.
And then, yeah, but they had a lot.
20-point season.
They had a lot of weapons around, but he found his specialty next to Kobe, next to Lamar Odom, where they knew what they were going to get from him daily. Kind of like a Draymond Green before Draymond Green. I was going to lock you down. I'm going to grab boards. I'm going to pass. This is my job. Jimmy, on the other hand, he wants it all, but you know, he's volatile when asking for it all. So that's why I'm going to go with Panda Man, because he kind of knew what he wanted and where he was going to be. Well, and if things go left, he clearing out the room.
Let me
you know that's
let me ask you
clearing out the room.
You said that Jimmy wants it all, but similar to somebody like PG who wants it all, right? Jimmy actually is proven in those moments when he wants it all. He puts the team on the back. He hits the big shots. He makes the right play, right? So even though he wants it all and he's not the protocol, like he's not on a LeBron level, he's not on a who's another? So he's not on a Giannis level in a sense, as in like talent wise, right? But when you look at a solid two guard, you know what I mean? He is on his way. It's a stretch, and it's gonna take him a while to get there. But he could be the next up and coming
Jimmy.
Yeah, he could be
he's too old.
He's 30 years old already.
He's too old. He's too old.
Too old for what? To be the next.
He doesn't have a next max contract in him.
Premier shooting guard in the league?
No.
You don't think so?
This was definitely his last max, because at the end of this max, he'll be what, 34?
34, 35.
Yeah, he's done. He's no more max. But
this is his window to produce.
I'm saying he's going to produce it within this window.
It's over.
But this is his contract.
4 years.
Dog, what I'm saying is, all right, between the point of what he could be to what he is, this is what the max you're going to see right now. There's no more potential left in him that you're going to pay for.
I think this year is going to be max Jimmy Butler, which is 24, 5 and 5.
Yeah.
24, 23, 5 and 5.
And ain't nothing wrong with those numbers.
No, I'm not saying anything's wrong, but I'm saying potential-wise, this is the height of Jimmy.
I agree there. I think this is maximum or peak Jimmy right now. This is prime Jimmy right now.
Yeah, and as the number one slaughter, if he falls off anywhere from his last production, it's downhill from him.
And I just want to say, if Melo would have went to Chicago in 2010, I know what's going on.
All right, we're not doing this right now.
But before we get on that, I'm going Jimmy Butler as well for because I was tempted to go Ron on that, but the thing is with Jimmy Butler, he does give me a little bit more offensively, but I do have reservations when it comes to him because, like you said, I think Jimmy does have a slight problem with accepting his role, but I don't think it's in a bad way. I feel like because he feels like he put the work in, and because he expanded his game, he feels like he can do a little bit more.
It's old to him, you feel.
Yeah, because he worked so hard to expand his game, like I can do a little bit more, and I'm welcoming the challenge of doing more rather than just saying, just give it to me because I feel like I'm Jimmy Butler.
So question to both of you guys, what do you feel his role is?
Right now?
Yeah, what's his role?
To try to become a leader, to try to be the number one, to try to be the number one offensive option. But I think he can be the captain of a team. I think he's growing to be a leader right now. But I still think he's learning how to be a leader of a team right now because I don't think he's there yet. He's not on Kawhi's level yet to me. He's like a tier below, but I feel like he's working toward that. But like Reem said, he's 30 already. So you got a short window to get a lot done.
To be prime. But listen, in my view of your question, just going off your question, Jimmy's a great closer.
Yes.
He's not a leader. Because
I wouldn't.
I'm not deeming him as a leader. Forget being the captain. Just let a vet handle that and worry about closing. He's a great player. But what I do not want to see is him focus on the offensive end and him spin off on the defensive end.
Oh my God, that's what slipped from my mind. I was getting ready to say that. That was correct. Because he might focus a lot more offense since he has more offensive responsibility, and he's gonna
take some breaks.
He might slack because he was known as a defensive stopper, a defensive specialist. Don't lose that aspect of your game trying to pursue offensive numbers because now you're the man. I feel like so. It's definitely possible.
I agree with that.
Yeah, so it's preseason, fellas, man. It's gonna be a lot happening, a lot going down. We're gonna see Zion's first game preseason night. We know Reem is gonna be there hating on Zion the first game.
I'm locked in, man.
Yeah,
Listen.
Who they playing? The Raptors, right?
Listen, before we get out of here, right?
Yeah.
Before we get out of here, I would like to give a eulogy.
Oh, talk to me.
Until my man gets signed, we are gonna put the Melo Reems name at rest.
Dead?
Yeah, we're gonna kill it for now, and then we're gonna pick up.
Come on, man.
You can't do that. What about when Melo becomes the number 1 draft pick?
We will give birth to the name Dame Time Reem.
Dame Time.
I'm rolling with Mr. Lillard this year. Mr. Lily Pad, you feel me?
I know you're a big Lillard fan, man. I know you are. Lillard Reem?
Lillard Reem.
I mean Dame Time Reem.
Dame Time Reem, Lily Pad Reem, whatever you want to call me.
Lily Pad Reem.
Stay focused. The draft is next week, Jess.
It is.
Don't snipe me neither.
Yeah, by the way, Fantasy League, Above the Rim Fantasy League is locked in. The draft is next Sunday. Make sure y'all paying attention to that. Couple of the fellas, I know all of y'all listen to the show. Get ready to take the L. Got money on the line. It's gonna be a nice show. A lot of shit talking going on there. Reem, Trev, fellas, appreciate y'all joining me for another episode. Trev, how you feel? It was your first time, brother?
It was good, man. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course, man, no doubt. Reem, you know you always welcome here back to talk your shit. You know how you do all the time.
Yeah, I don't know about this guy. We got to see if we can get him back. Damo! Shout out to you, Brody.
Shout out to Damo, man. Shout out to Damo. And please give Reem the smoke. Please give Reem the mellow smoke on Twitter because I saw Reem arguing with a few cats on there.
Yes.
Please send the smoke his way.
I welcome it, please.
Please, let her welcome it. So family, that's Above the Rim, episode 107. And we out.